It's a delicious kid snack even a mother could love. New Incredibites. Send them snacking in a new direction.
Guess whose rice brings your meal to life?
Rice it up!
Introducing Hamburger Helper's 2 new flavors, mushroom and wild rice and beef teriyaki. A hearty combination of long grain rice, sweet red peppers, carrots, onions, and more. So tonight, make a great meal.
And rice it up!
With Hamburger Helper.
KDAL-TV, Channel 13, Eugene.
The Rich Brooks Show, sponsored in part by Miller Genuine Draft Lunch, by Subway Sandwiches, by Roberts Dodge, by Manley Administrative, by Bradford's High Fidelity, by Ward Insurance, by Steelhead Brewery, by the Oregon Electric Station, by Echo Spring Dairy, by Mighty Trailer Sales, and by Pacific Continental Bank. The Rich Brooks Show.
Hi, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, along with the coach, and welcome to this week's show. We'd also like to welcome our studio audience that has turned out to watch the program this afternoon. A couple of these folks have been here all season long. We have some new faces as well. It's good to see all of you here, and we hope you enjoy the show. And I hope you do, because the Ducks came off a very impressive 30-20 victory over Arizona State. Finally got a Pac-10 victory. You sweep a 3-game homestand, and your team seems to be improving each and every week.
Well, I don't think there's any question we're improving. The major concern I have, obviously, is our inability to hang on to the football. 4 fumbles lost, and I think we took what would have been maybe an easier win and made it a lot more interesting because of our inability to hang on to the football. But I also feel good that we were able to overcome those mistakes. And last year, early this year, we weren't able to overcome them. So I think we're definitely making progress. Running the football, the offensive line and pass blocking as well, and the defense against the run.
Well, defense against the run, I thought, was one of the keys in the game, Coach, because Arizona State had come in running the football against everybody they had faced. Washington, Louisville, Nebraska. I mean, those aren't slouch defenses, and yet your defense held them to their lowest total of the year.
Well, we did, and I think the defensive coaches did a good job. They did gain a few yards. They go on a very quick cadence, and we weren't lined up a couple of times, although we'd worked on it all week long. But I was very impressed with the way we swarmed to the ball and gang tackled their backs.
There was a great picture in the Oregonian newspaper this morning with regard to about 6 of your tacklers on a ball carrier. Offensively, Danny O'Neal, it looks like week after week, he seems to be maturing, making the proper reads. I thought the first touchdown pass that he had to Ronnie Harris was maybe a great indication of how far he's come.
Well, I think in the past, when he didn't see anybody initially open, and the protection was pretty good on that, but there was a big gaping hole, and he started to pull down the ball and run up the middle. But now, with a little more poise, he also saw Ronnie Harris breaking free from his man and just delivered him the ball. Little improvement there, a little more poise, a little more maturity. Danny played an outstanding football game. His ability to throw the touch pass as well as have the poise to wait for a few of those things to open, I think was one of the major differences in the game.
I think special teams as well, and not only Tommy Thompson kicking 5 field goals, 5 out of 6, and getting that 51-yarder, but your special teams once again, I think, had the edge over Arizona State.
Well, our kickoff return and kick coverage team was, I think, outstanding, and you put that in with we punted twice, if it's only 2 times in 2 games, but when we did an excellent job of executing, first of all, of protecting, and then obviously of coverage, and getting a turnover, getting a big kickoff return before the half to set up the field goal. A lot of big plays in the kicking game for us.
Tommy Thompson, the Special Teams Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago, and he might be up for that award again this week. He said after the game that the 51-yarder that he made did a world of good for his confidence. Not only that you had the confidence in him that he could make one of those because he'd missed a couple, but the fact he finally got one, and after that, I mean, he was just razor sharp.
He was, and I was a little disappointed for him on the first one. We'd worked all week on an alignment problem, and darn if after looking at the film this morning, he didn't go right back on that right hash and get a little bit too far left on his alignment. And we'll get the right hash situation straightened out too, but he could have had 6. But the 5 and the 51-yarder, I think, are great for his confidence, and certainly they were great for us.
Well, indeed they were. They spelled the difference in the game. All right, we'll get to the highlights momentarily, but first let's check out the Pac-10 scoreboard and a rather interesting weekend of activity. First of all, you see the Ducks with their victory, now 3-2, 1-1 in the conference. Arizona State drops to 1-1, or 0-2, I should say, in Pac-10 play. California, an easy time against Oregon State as the Bears roll over the Beavers. Flip the page. Arizona, after that heartbreaking 8-7 loss at Miami, comes back and had UCLA shut out for the first 58 minutes plus seconds in that game. The Bruins kicked a field goal with a little over a minute to play to keep their streak of scoring in consecutive games alive. But rather interesting decision by Terry Donahue, to say the least. And, well, Stanford, they're just rolling right along as they thumped Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. Flip the page. Washington State remains undefeated as they thrash Temple, and Oregon's next 2 opponents played in Seattle. It'll be the Trojans next week, followed by the Huskies here at Autzen Stadium. Let's set the scene for Saturday's game at Autzen Stadium. Bruce Snyder, the former Oregon linebacker and a fullback, returning to his alma mater, to his first year in Tempe after previously spending time at California and Utah State. Also, a couple of years with the Rams in the NFL. He plays 2 quarterbacks, has throughout the last 2 games, Grady Benton, number 10, and number 6, Derek McGee. McGee will get the start, but Benton will take over in the second half. The running game, well, they lost Mario Bates, one of the outstanding runners in college football, last week to a knee injury, but Jerron Davison is big and strong, and he's not too bad himself. Defensively, they have an attacking, aggressive style of play led by number 44 inside linebacker Brett Wallerstadt. And outside, very quick pass rusher Shante Carver led the Pac-10 in sacks a year ago. Offensively for the Ducks, they're going to have to pick up that aggressive defense. David Collinsworth, one of the guys up front responsible for that assignment. So, get yourself a few treats and some beverages and join us as we have the highlights of Arizona State and Oregon coming right up.
Have you ever had an instant party? It's easy and you don't need balloons. Just stop by Subway and order a sack of different subs. Take them home and slice them up and serve them family style. It's more fun because everyone gets a taste of everything. So if you need to feed 100 people on short notice, if unexpected guests drop by unexpectedly, or you just don't feel like cooking dinner tonight, pick up a sack of subs at Subway. We specialize in solving emergencies with food.
For more information on these and other fine sandwiches, visit the Subway near you.
The 19th.
Here's a helpful offer available only through your travel agent. Now when you book Dollar Rent-A-Car and use the American Express card, at participating locations, you'll get an immediate free upgrade. You'll also receive our travel help pack of additional upgrades and discounts on future rentals.
It would sure do us good to do you good. Let us help.
Call your travel agent today.
We can help.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
When you are making a list of the greatest achievements of this century, please consider Subway's 79-cent round sandwiches. We have taken the great taste of Subway, including our fresh-baked bread, and made it round. So it's highly portable and highly affordable with a low, low, low price of 79 cents. While this great achievement may not change your life as much as the Clapper, our round sandwiches certainly do taste better, and you can get one for only 79 cents.
Introducing the round sandwiches for as low as 79 cents only at Subway.